Mineral water is my go-to beverage. Why? Because it gives me a hemorrhage in my brain, causing me to go insane. Blue tack on my eyelids while I'm flying on a plane.
Wow. That's a weird one.
Do you smell that? Do you smell that? Do you smell that? Do you smell that? Do
Smells
you smell that?
disgusting.
Welcome to the Skunk Day podcast. Roll the intro, please.
All right. How's it going, mate?
It's good, mate.
It's been a minute. It's currently Thursday.
Yeah.
We just had a rest day. So, yeah, Bombers the Bank Engines there. All right. So, we got a new episode, new question.
Yeah.
Let's hear what the question is.
Let's have a listen, dude. I hope it's a good one.
Yeah. Let's have
Are you excited for this one? I hope it's a
I
good
think
one.
this is a long one. This is from, I can't remember who. It's just in our inbox. So,
Yeah.
if you have a question, send us a question.
Skunk talk, skunk take. Sorry. So I was just wondering, me and the misso were having an argument the other day, and she was saying that even if there was a 7 foot tall mountain of a man in front of me, that I should still defend her in that situation. And I obviously disagreed. I'm like, look, mate, you got to apologize in that situation, right? You're in the wrong. We don't want to get fucking flattened. Anyways, do you think that in a situation like that, you should defend your significant other, or should you get them to apologize? Well, what would you say is the right answer?
Wow, that guy had a deep voice, mate.
Yeah, that guy had a deep Australian accent.
Very deep voice.
Yeah.
Not
He
like-
sounded like Corpse husband.
Yeah.
I'm Corpse.
But Aussie version.
Yeah, I'm Corpse.
So if your significant other does something wrong,
Okay.
okay, and
Yeah.
there's this huge guy who she scratched his car or something, right?
Okay.
You defending her,
Oh,
and he looks like he'd be violent.
okay.
Tats,
No.
got a knife.
Well, I don't know. Do you mean like specifically scratches his car? Cause
Yeah,
you'd
let's
have
just
to,
say,
no, because then you'd have to exchange insurance details and stuff like that.
okay, how about she
Like, I don't know.
she spills water on him on an escalator,
Okay.
and he gets pissed off.
Right. Okay.
And she's like, "Why are you getting pissed off? You bumped into me, but you didn't see that happen."
I think we're probably always inclined to, side with like your significant other, the person you have a better bond with,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of the situation.
Mm.
I'm all for the just like crisis aversion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
I'm quite a passive bloke, despite what I may lead people to believe.
In the raps.
Yeah, but I'm quite a passive bloke. I don't really,
Yeah.
go out looking for smoke, so to say.
Mm. So you wouldn't try? You wouldn't be like, all right, look, I know I'm about to get bashed, but I'm just gonna do it.
I wouldn't try bash this dude.
Yeah.
No.
What if he what if it's the other way around? She didn't do anything wrong. He just says some shit. Like I don't know, and she's like, what are you gonna do about it? He just said he'd do horrible things to me.
I don't know, because it's like goes back to like I was saying, I'm very big on crisis aversion.
Mm.
If this dude's just saying shit, like, bro, your words mean nothing. You're not like in our lives. You're not a relevant piece of information because that's all you are, right? He's just coming up with these words or who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit? Fuck this cunt. What other impact on my life is he gonna have
Yeah.
aside from saying a few words? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This dude's fucking worthless. He holds no value. If it was someone meaningful, then I'd be like, okay. But if it's like some fucking worthless person, then laugh it off. Be like, you're really gonna take who gives a fuck about this guy? That's how I'd kind of approach it. Be like, you give a fuck about what he's saying? Why would you give a fuck about what he's saying? Who cares?
Yeah.
Everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Mm.
Like, fuck this guy.
What if it goes a step further, right? I've seen where the line is. What if he smacks your girlfriend on the ass as she's walking past and you're right next to her?
Well, then I guess you got to kind of take some action, call him up on it.
Yeah. So that's the line.
Give him a stern talking to. Well, physical, I think when it gets physical, it's...
Okay.
But even then, you kind of try,
You wouldn't be like, fuck off, cunt. Don't touch her, mate.
Yeah, I'll try to give it like a stern talking to. Like, hey,
Mate, this is unacceptable. Your dog.
yeah.
Are you calling the
I'll be
cops
like-
in that situation? Sexual harassment, mate? Putting up charges, mate?
That'd be pretty good. I never really thought
You
about it
call
like
the
that.
cops?
Give the dude a case?
Yeah.
Yo,
So you're a narc, mate.
that's not a bad idea.
It is. If
You
you're a
think-
narc. Nah, I don't know. Yeah, I'd probably call the cops, eh? Just do the old... I'd probably yell at him
Did
first.
the old headlock keep him in?
No, I wouldn't headlock him. If he's a 7-footer, I don't know, because it's weird. Like I feel like in those situations, sometimes you get like, not that it's happened to me, but like I assume based on similar situations, not similar situations, but
You get
like,
pretty like heated.
yeah, you get like
You
the
lose
adrenaline
sense of-
pumping.
yeah, like
It's like when
rationality.
you're with the boys and like someone like disrespects the boys,
Mm.
and you're like, yeah, where's his fucking dog? You know, like, or even when you hear a story.
And it like pisses you off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like when you're in the moment,
Mm.
it can kind of like the level-headedness can kind of be ignored.
Mm.
Like you're not trying to ignore it, but it just is, because you're like, oh shit, it's just one of the boys. It's not even like your significant other, someone who you like really care about.
Mm.
I mean, you do care about your boys, but like not to the same level, I guess.
As your SO, yeah.
Yeah, you still get heated.
Mm.
Like when I hear someone dog the boys, even if it's like in a small way, I'm like, what if like, are we gonna bash this guy, man?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get you. I don't know. I think like I've spoken to you about it before, about like my opinions on like fights.
Yeah.
I see them pointless if there's not an end goal achieved. And that's why I guess I haven't really kind of ever really been in a fight.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's because I hold that like altered perception that it's like, right, well, unless we're going all the way, then there's no point in us fighting.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I come from the other side. I kind of feel like fighting is a natural thing. Like physical violence has been,
No, I agree.
other than right now, like, because I honestly, like, I don't know about all this stuff. Like people are like giving participation trophies and like, you know, saying violence isn't the way. Like, you know that violence upholds the world peace, right? Like if there wasn't violence or the threat of violence, like Russia or whoever would be ruling the world right now.
Yeah.
Because they would be violent and we wouldn't.
Mm.
Right?
It's definitely in our human nature to be violent.
And yeah, throughout all of history,
Yeah.
violence has been part of humanity. And like whether you like it or not, like, because I hear it a lot lately, especially like with younger people. It's like they're not very like, they don't really care for violence. They're like, oh, I don't really. But like you realize that it's like, if push comes to shove, like if society crumbles for whatever reason, or we like, because like a lot of the stuff that's happening now is just like a social construct. Like the idea of like, you know, like the police enforces all the laws. That's why like tons of stuff gets upheld. And, you know, in certain situations, like you would be bashed for doing something dumb.
Yeah.
Like if there wasn't this social construct of nonviolence.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
And like that's the only thing holding it all together.
Yeah.
But like some people are under the illusion that they're really tough. Like the Karens, like you see all the Karens, like they always like, I saw this TikTok video of this Karen, like she was at a theme park and there was this guy, I think he was like some random guy, and he was just trying to, I think he called her out. I didn't see the start, like the start of the video kind of like didn't show the start of the situation. He was like trying to walk away, right? But she kept going up into his face and saying, hey, stop blocking me. And he would try and move and she'd be like, stop blocking me. And he's like, get the fuck out of my way. And she's like, why are you swearing in front of my kid? And her kid's like on the side of the footpath or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like and she's like, yeah, why didn't you hit me then? And he's like, mate, what are you talking about? But like if in a you know,
A lawless society.
in a lawless society where societal, like the social construct of nonviolence isn't there, like she would have got bashed.
Yeah.
Like all these Karens have like these like inflated sense of like how high and mighty they are. Not that I think violence should be used all the time, but yeah, I'm just like in that mindset of it's normal. Like for some people to resort to it, yes, it's unnecessary. I think it's good that we are moving away from like just bashing people for no reason.
Yeah.
But I also, part of me does think like this is just human nature. It's just nature. Like animals fight all the time.
Yeah.
Like over nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's where I go back to like what I was saying in the sense of like if we look at like, you know, early humans, and we're talking early humans, like a fight isn't just settled by, you know, a few blows traded. It's settled by, you know, finishing it there and then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like you fight your brother sometimes, like maybe not, but like I know brothers fight and like you're not trying to kill your brother. You're just trying to like scrap.
Yeah.
So I think that there is a place for that. Because I think that's been pretty normal.
And I just don't see the point of it. You know what I mean? Like,
because like people wrestle and they, you know, do all that kind of stuff.
what do you mean for like sport?
Yeah, like
I think for sport it's different because it's like in a sporting environment. You know,
Mm.
really, you know. But you even like hear some like the greatest boxers like Tyson and stuff talking about like when they're across the like ring from their opponent, it's like they want their head. Like they actually want to fucking kill them. They actually want to take their lives, and it's like it's just that primal switch.
So to you, it's like violent. If you resort to violence, then it's like I'm gonna kill this guy.
Well, it's Oh, that's the thing. And that's how I've kind of perceived it my whole life, and that's why I'm quite passive. It's all or nothing. I'm very like 100% or 0% kind of guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
I'm
I see where
very
you're
all
coming
in.
from. I'm not necessarily in that same camp. Like I do think that violence, there's in betweens. I think everyone needs to experience a little bit of violence, which is why I think there's no like, oh, it's like life or death. Like, because there's plenty of situations where I've been in a violent situation where I haven't
Resorted to like,
or where I haven't thought that my life is at risk.
oh, okay,
Right.
right.
I think violence humbles people, honestly.
I
And
agree.
a lot of people, because they haven't experienced it when they were, younger or whatever, they have like a warped sense of reality. Like, I know my limits. Like, I know who will bash me
Yeah,
and who will, like, destroy me without even trying.
Yeah.
And I know how to react in that situation. I'm not gonna try and have smoke with someone who's, like, definitely going to end me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm humbled in that sense where I'm like, okay, I recognize that there's people who are way more highly trained,
Yeah.
way more like physically gifted,
capable. Yeah,
than I am, and I'm not. They could take my life if they wanted to,
Mm.
or like they could humble me. They could just beat the shit out of me, even if I was trying my hardest. And I think that's a really humbling viewpoint that a lot of people need to have when it comes to like confrontation.
Yeah, true. I agree. Yeah.
And like, there's tons of blokes, like, no, I guess both genders, blokes and women, who think that, oh yeah, I'm like, they have like this tough guy syndrome where they're like, I could fight anyone, and then you look at them, you're like, mate, no, you couldn't, mate.
Yeah.
And like you're like you ask them if they've ever been in a fight or if they have like some sort of martial arts experience or whatever, and they don't. Like, mate, where's this like arrogance coming from?
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of that going around nowadays where it's just like people just think they're like fucking invincible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I guess it's like this time of peace kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Because like it's like
Because
life's
like
super fragile.
yeah,
too.
yeah. Because like survival is so far out of the like, or like like if you look at like primal survival, right? Like me hurt this, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if we look at like a very baseline kind of primal version of it, is so far from our day-to-day experience. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
work so we can get food. We probably make, I think most people make more than enough. Like most of the working class makes more than enough to feed themselves, right? So the whole survival thing is like out the window.
In Western society, at least.
Well, yeah,
And that's the funny thing. You look at other cultures and other countries. Like, yes, I guess it is shitter because they're like poorer and all that kind of stuff. But they still like, they're not like us, where like so many people have this inflated sense of like how good they are. Because I feel like a lot more people now are like, I guess, like arrogant for no reason. Like,
Yeah.
too confident for no reason.
yeah. But there's a lot of like violence
Exactly.
out of survival.
Yeah, and
out of the need of
they're
survival.
humbled by it.
Yeah, you look at like Brazil and like the favelas and all that, and
Like, it's fucked.
You know,
Like, don't get me wrong.
yeah, like, and there's a lot of violence. Not necessarily like a humbling point of violence, but like a need to survive point
Yeah.
of violence. You know what I mean? So-
Yeah, and I think that because I guess we're kind of closer to it, where like our parents have come from violent situations in their home countries. And I guess maybe that's why we have a different respect for violence and its role in society. Whereas a lot of people in Western society, because Western society isn't really that big. Like, it's Europe, it's America, and it's Australia, I guess. Like, that's it, right?
Yeah.
The rest of the world, Africa, India, China, most of Asia, they're not living by these Western views on competition and violence. Like, and I honestly think that's why even like people on an individual level, you always hear how like people who succeed have these crazy stories, like crazy backgrounds where they're like, oh yeah, like we're like barely surviving, or like I had to like, go through all this like adversity to get to where I'm at. I think it's that being humbled from not just violence, but like hardship as well, because I think they're kind of one and the same, hardship and violence. They're just two different sides of the coin. Like violence is like, okay, the physical aspect of it. Hardship is like you're getting your ass kicked, but in a different way.
Yeah.
And in relation to survival. And it's always those people who go through those like violence or hardship. It always seems like they're the ones who are able to like build the most.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think maybe it's just the attitude thing, which is why, so many people now are like, I hate to say it, but like a lot of people now, I mean, probably including ourselves, I don't even know. A lot of people now are very mediocre. Like they're just happy with, oh yeah, I just want to do my own thing. I don't care too much about like building like this huge whatever, because they're not like, there's not that drive that's caused by some of this hardship.
But then do you reckon like ego has a big influence on it?
Yeah, I
some
think that's
people,
what affects ego. That's,
some people will straight up like get into a heated conversation and it'll go from just talking to like bringing up something in them, so burning that they're willing to fucking throw hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think ego does.
I guess it kind of depends on the individual and how heavy other people's like words rest on them, right? If some fucking random is saying shit to me, it's like there's two sides of the coin then, right? So it's like this cunt's worthless and none of anything that he's saying is fucking meaningless to me. So I'm not affected by this. Or this guy's insulting my pride and he needs to pay for it, right? That's the two sides of the coin.
Yeah.
Right? So like, I guess it goes back to like perception, right?
Yeah.
And like ego plays a pretty big part in that, like making that, that decision.
But it's hard because like you could say that, if you look back into history, it's like the kings and all that kind of stuff. Even in some countries now, if you say one bad thing about the leader, it doesn't matter if you're like a farmer, whatever, they'll kill you.
Yeah, true.
Or they'll, do like
put you through
other
prison,
shit, like torture you and stuff.
Yeah.
That happens in a bunch of different places. It's happened throughout history as well. Maybe it is a pride thing. I don't know what contributes to that. So I guess it's like we've said though, it's not like violence it's not a good thing only. I think it's just like most things in the world. There's like a good side and a bad side. Nothing is purely good or purely bad.
True.
And violence, I think, is the best kind of like thing of that. Because like you look at like the monks and all these people, like you can learn a martial art and become very like enlightened, right? So from the violence, you can become at peace.
Yeah, true.
And I think it's just one of those things that like is very balanced. But you can't. But like I think the fact that people have, it's a negative thing.
Yeah,
maybe that's why society is a bit cooked.
Yeah, that's good to bring that up. Like violence being perceived under like negative connotations. It's really interesting to think about that because like the world we live in was built on it. You know what I mean? And now it's all of a sudden like perceived as this negative thing.
Yeah, like and I get that like okay, you shouldn't be violent in lots of situations, but like I don't know, I might be wrong, but I feel like in schools and all that kind of stuff they're pushing like non-violence, like even within certain sports as well. And I get that, yeah, okay, like we need to make sure people are safe, which is true.
Yeah.
But I think that by taking it away completely, it's like you're also losing a lot of the benefits that come along with it.
I'm sure you'd agree, right? Like if you're being bullied at school, right? Like the only thing that's going to get through that bully is not teachers talking to him, is not,
legit.
The only thing that's going to get through to them is a fucking fist, right?
100%.
But that being said, that's a different type of violence to like going in, like what we see in America. Kids, kids just.
That's not even violent. That's just people
pure
being
insanity,
cowards.
Cowardice, right?
That's like you're not. That's why like I don't count guns as part of like this whole violence kind of umbrella.
Right. Okay.
Like I guess in war, but like violence is about like you as a person and me as a person. Like let's like scrap.
Like a mutual understanding of
like
battle.
You need some sort of like fair playing field. Like if you're just going in with a gun, like you're a pussy, man. Like neck yourself. You like don't belong in society. That's not even violence being a good thing, or that's just some pussy
pure derangement,
being a coward and just like using this like weapon to have like a short amount of like the way I see it, it's the type of person that usually does that. you can look at their whole backstory. A lot of them are kind of similar. Like, you can look at it and be like, okay, they're using this gun in this moment to try get a little bit of power before they cock it, before the police kill them or whatever, or before they go to prison.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. Like, it's just someone being legit a pussy, trying to get a little glimpse of what it's like to have power because they're so pathetic in their everyday life that they, you know, they resort to shit like that, which is just like, it's just, can't stress how pathetic it is.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like the worst shit ever.
I'm inclined to agree. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I guess it is like when you look at the definition of it, it is violence. But yeah, I think you've worded it great. I think it's just like that
Doesn't
last
count.
hurrah. Yeah, it doesn't count. Like it's that last hurrah of like I want to feel power just before. And I think this conversation has probably changed my opinion on, you know, your average scrap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From even the start of this podcast.
Like, yeah.
Of
If my kid is in a fight, I'm not gonna be mad at the kid at all. I'd want to know why. I'd want to know like the justification, and as long as it's like, you know, a good justification, then like I think that's character building.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
Even if he tries to fight a kid bigger than him, if the kid's bullying him or whatever,
yeah,
or her, then like go for it, man. Try and bash them.
yeah,
Get into a fight.
yeah, yeah. I agree.
Like, you can be humbled, but you can also like, I think it can be like a liberating kind of thing.
It is, and that's for both parties as well.
Yeah.
Because like even if he gets, you know, if my kid gets the shit beat out of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because if you're a bully and
the bully's like, all right, well, this guy's actually fucking standing up for himself. You know what I mean?
exactly,
This guy's actually,
that's the only way you can get respect. And
Yeah.
all this like anti-bullying bullshit about like blah 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 blah. Just like, if you have a bully, mate, just punch him square in the nose,
yeah,
and then see what happens.
it's for your children.
You'll get bashed, but you'll forget about it in like a few years, and you're not going to regret doing it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever regretted being in a fight. Like when I was
Maybe I need to get into more fights.
maybe not at this age, because like everyone's capable of killing each other.
Yeah, true.
But when you're a kid, I think that it's good. Anyways,
yeah.
That's
So
it.
would you just wrap it up?
yeah, it would be. Are we?
Would you knock him out?
Yeah, I would try, and then I'd probably get bashed, but it's just part of life.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing. All right.
Okay, bye.
See ya.
Bye. Running out of time.